Could this finally be the day that fans of Outriders have been waiting for? Let's find out. What's going on, everybody? LtBuzzLitebeer here with the latest news from the Outriders dev team, and according to their most recent post, we have the long-awaited fix aimed at erasing the issues with damage mitigation. Now, what all is in this latest fix? What should we expect, and will this be enough to really stabilize the game? Well, today I want to try to cover all of these topics in the video, but before we dive in, if you haven't yet smashed that sub button for intensive Outriders content, please do so. And don't forget to ring the bell to receive all future upload notifications from my YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of small details to cover today, so let's get started. Right out of the gate, we've got this tweet that posted around 1 p.m. Tuesday afternoon from the Outriders official account, and it reads, Tuesday news. We are hoping to release our damage mitigation patch this Thursday, May 20th, but this will only be confirmed once it successfully passes through final testing. And they've got this link to latest news here over on Reddit. But before I jump over to that Reddit post, this tweet included a second and third attachment as the information continued on. The patch will additionally include crash fixes, as well as added telemetry to help us diagnose currently outstanding sign-in issues that might remain after this patch release. We are also still working on the player appreciation package. If you're interested to find out more about what goes on into the testing process, we provided a bit of a behind-the-scenes look at the process here, and again, another link to another Reddit post. So all in all, it looks like the team is really trying to touch on several really hot topics all in one blast. They've got a launch fix date set of May 20th for the famous damage mitigation issue. They've also made mention of the crashes that have plagued this game since launch, and they've got what sounds like fixes for specific causes of those crashes, as well as something in place to diagnose sign-in issues. Now, for many players that have moved on from the Outriders universe, that short laundry list of issues that I just mentioned has really been the straw that broke the camel's back when it came down to just staying and grinding through those issues or just shelving Outriders for another day. And it hasn't been the storyline or the repetitive in-game content, but it's been the major infrastructure issues that have really hampered this game. Now, like I've said in previous videos, I really like Outriders for the tight, visceral combat loops and the interesting skill trees and builds that you can work on and perfect. But the major gripe, and rightfully so by many players, is the fact that you have a large cross-section of the player base that simply cannot access the game. I mean, they can't even log in, and when they do log in, they are constantly crashing. As part of this announcement, the dev team again makes mention of this incoming player appreciation package, but at this point, it needs to be an all-out multi-millionaire baller package, throwing out all sorts of unique rewards at the remaining players. Just a few legendary pieces and a brief statement are not enough compensation for what the base has had to endure with this game. And I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I mean, for me, this game has been immensely positive. My channel and Discord community have exploded thanks to Outriders, and all the while my game is functioning properly, I've really been enjoying the game. So let's not go too far down the rabbit hole of negativity, and let's steer this one back on course. Now, the last part of the tweet gives us the link to a basic outline of how the fix or patch process operates behind the scenes, which I really found interesting. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but instead backtrack to this Reddit post by the Arkin, Outriders community manager, and it reads, Our latest patch, designed primarily to address the damage mitigation issue, is currently running through some final testing. We're hoping to release it this Thursday, May 20th, but this will only be confirmed once it successfully passes through testing. Now, I'm going to skip the next section because that is a repeat of their tweet, but it finishes off, note, our fix should resolve the damage mitigation issue for both multiplayer and single-player gameplay. Now, as you know, I have covered these Reddit posts over the last several weeks, which have in some sort of way identified and acknowledged the damage mitigation issues, resulting in players not being able to heal through damage or just being one-shotted from nowhere, making the game extremely frustrating to play. Other posts I have covered have referenced Outriders community members that have posted potential workarounds for players to perform in an attempt to skirt around the damage mitigation bugs. But with this latest post, it looks like we may finally have the resolution we have badly needed. A full iteration designed to patch and finally fix this major issue is exactly what we have wanted, and I personally cannot wait to try this all out on Thursday, and my hope is that the game will finally feel and play like it did prior to the last major update that fixed the emergency stance bug, but in reality removed the only band-aid that was keeping us alive while the damage mitigation issue was always active since day one. Now, the third portion of the Outriders tweet has a link to this behind-the-scenes look at how they go about implementing a fix for their issues, and this was again compiled by the Archon, and here's how it goes. In this case, we identified what we believed was the root cause of the issue on the 7th, Friday, which I believe is April, and I updated the community then. Bear that date in mind as you then work through the process below. Once an issue fix has been identified, it needs to be software compiled into a build. So all game files need to be pulled into a proper build, not just loose files. That can take a few hours, perhaps half a day. That build is then smoke tested on site, which also takes time, add half a day. Once it's through the smoke test, that build needs to be uploaded and sent to our wider QA teams. That upload can take a while since the build is tens of gigabytes in size, add on a few hours. The wider QA teams that we have placed throughout the globe then download it, again taking a little bit of time due to its size, add on a few hours. Then the QA team needs to get to work testing as many aspects of the game as possible. It isn't always just a case of checking that that bug in particular has been regressed. The QA process also can, depending on the changes made, involve testers replaying the entire game, start to finish, either including only the main storyline or checking all side quests and similar as well, across all different platforms and playstyle variations, add on a number of days. Bear in mind that the Outriders team is comprised of people working in multiple time zones, so if one task in a certain time zone finishes late on a day, it can impact when the next team in the process gets to it, e.g. the next day. Finally, add on top of this submissions with the first parties, which can, depending on a project status, differ between being able to be passed rapidly or may need to go through additional checks, which can by themselves add on a few up to 4 days. So a lot of very specific information from the dev team, and I appreciate the transparency about how they go about working on, testing, and implementing a hotfix. And I'm not in the industry, but to me this all reads like a perfect model of inefficiency. So much time wasted uploading and downloading, installing, and then you've got these playtesters in different time zones all over the world. And what you need to add on top of all of this is the actual dev time to work on the code, identify the issues, design workarounds, setting in the new code, and you can see where this one is going. No wonder this process has taken so much longer than any of us expected. And this issue is one that has been burning up the player base, which I think this tweet by Simon Gutierrez really embodies. How can it take so long to fix just one bug? I enjoyed the campaign, but the game appears to be abandoned if we take into account how much it takes to release only a few fixes, which appears to have introduced more bugs than fixes. Even after Thursday's patch, if it is successful, the dev team still has a ton of work ahead of them, as the community has already been raising concerns over loot drop percentages, players being kicked before they are able to collect their loot at mission completion, multiplayer issues such as nasty lag and or ammo replenishment issues when using status effect mods, and there are other possible reworks we need, such as Tiago having a weekly set of wares that rotates and more access to legendary gear such as targeted loot zones. At least I have a really good solution for those of you that have had it with random matchmaking woes, and it's really easy to do. My community Discord server is always active and has tons of like-minded Outriders there at all times of the day looking to squad up. All you need to do to join is look in the video description. Click on the open Discord invite link, accept the rules, and you are in. There we have a dedicated and professional set of mods that will get you headed in the right direction so that you can take advantage of our channels like the build section, tips and tricks, social areas, and of course the LFG area. All you need to do is post what you need and someone will be there to assist you. Need a couple of players for a CT15 farming session, or maybe you are fresh to expeditions and need a hard carry to get you across the finish line? Once you join the Discord, we've got all of that and more covered for you. In case you aren't yet a sub, please smash that sub button and don't forget to ring the bell to receive all future upload notifications from my channel. If you could take the time to rate and or share this video, it would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to find me over on Twitch with weekly streams, join my aforementioned community Discord server for all things Outriders related, and follow me on Twitter posting all my latest thoughts concerning gaming topics. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.